Let's all point at the camera.
Hi, my name is Mark. I play drums.
My name's Emily and I sing.
My name is Michael Whelan and I play guitar.
My name's Aaron and I play guitar.
My name's Dino and I say no.
So Shadows in the Moonlight is the first track off our album, and it is about loneliness, and it was actually inspired from an idea that the cameraman who's behind the camera right now, he started off the very first few bars in the intro, and I kind of carried on the rest of the song. And Emily and I jumped into a pool for the intro for it. Yeah, so Shadows of Moonlight, loneliness, and it's kind of inspired by a couple people pretty close to me. So.
I remember recording it, and we were doing the gang vocals.
Oh right.
And I was doubling Emily's part. Yeah, I had to wear my tidy shorts. Yeah.
Track number 2 is Outlaw, and musically this one is almost 100% written by Dino Rodino, and lyrically was taken care of by our really good friend Jake Rarick. But Outlaw is mostly a country-inspired musical number and has some other kind of funky elements that are in there too. I think when we were writing the music for it, we were kind of inspired by Waylon Jennings and what if Waylon Jennings or people of that caliber wrote kind of heavier music. And then Dino has this habit of writing some of our guitar solos, so there's a guitar solo after the second chorus, and that's a melody written entirely by Dino.
Oh yeah.
Track number 3 is Rainbows at Night, and much to Emily's chagrin is the most keyboard-oriented song on the album. But Rainbows at Night is another extremely old idea of mine and Dino's. It started with a keyboard riff. That dates back to almost 2013 when we came up with that. It was originally called Rubber Duckies in the original demo.
I forgot about that.
And that one was probably one of the most difficult ones to write, musically and lyrically, because I really didn't know what I wanted it to be about, but I knew it had to be included. And ended up finding out that the song is about kind of missing on your youth, childhood, and getting older, how it kind of sucks.
But it's a fun song.
Yeah, and it's kind of a happy song about getting older. It's not being too melancholic and depressed, oh, I never can go back. It's more I'm going to keep trucking on. That's kind of the note that the song ends on.
More like you're a little bit older and a lot less bolder than you used to be.
All right. So track number 4 is Faceless Dreams, which started off as an idea from our good friend, who's off camera. We can see him. He's a very dear friend of the band. Sean was having dreams about women, and he couldn't see their faces, only their bodies. So I took that idea and applied it to the concept of soulmates, how you can be hunting for someone your entire life, potentially find them, potentially not find them. The idea of chasing love and not being able to know when you have it or if you've ever had it. That's what Faceless Dreams is about. And it's probably the more alternative rock song, pop punk band song we have. Really inspired by a band I like called The Graduate, inspired by Aaron Miller's guitar playing, by lots of the effects. When I first wrote the song, I had Aaron Miller in mind. This one actually dates back, I think, to 2017. I have a voice memo where I first wrote the chord progression and vocal melodies for that. And again, lyrically, Dino was big number on that one. It's not just me.
Do we use the chimes on this? No, we use the vibraphone.
Yeah, Aaron does a double guitar vibraphone solo with himself on this song. Yeah, so that's Faceless Dreams. Cobra Maneuver is lyrically inspired by these Russian planes that can do this weird maneuver where they seemingly defy gravity almost. And Skunk and I, Skunk, who's not here by the way, our other bandmate, he and I worked on this one lyrically and musically, and we kind of compared that maneuver that plane does to a ballet dancer or some sort of dancer. I love his lyrics. He took the second verse, I took the first verse. And again, a really really big chorus for that song. I love how our gang vocals and our harmonies sound. And some really crazy double kick work by Mark. It's a kind of a shreddy neoclassical metal thing, but some kind of like Beach Boys infused harmonies. And yeah, so that's Cobra Maneuver. Track 6 is The Road, which is one of the oldest songs we have. I think, again, this one also was musically mostly written by Dino Rodino. He came to me with the melody and a lot of the sequences in the song. Lyrically, this came from a feeling of like kind of like being like wanting to just get out of Santa Clarita where I live and like wanting to get out and adventure around and explore a bit, as I think we all want to do, and Mark actually did.
I did, and then I got sucked back.
Yeah, so it's about just wanting to get out and travel really, and not being cooped up in your own self, and just trying to find your own life, trying to live deliberately. It features a nylon string guitar solo that I played at the music store that I work at. So shout out to Impulse Music Co. And one of the most incredible vocal performances by Emily Solis, who just completely knocks it out of the park on this song.
Thank you.
Yeah. Track 7 is Nordic Summer, which is another one of the oldest songs that Dino and I ever came up with, all the way back in 2014. We kind of wanted to have a Celtic inspired song. Didn't really know that the song would end up being instrumental, but that's just kind of where it wanted to go. That's just what felt the most natural. Didn't really like know if there actually needed to be any words that needed to be said for the song. And it features a flute performance by our friend in Virginia by the name of Gina Sobel, who did a fantastic job of interpreting and playing that part. And it kind of goes through like the seasons almost. That's how I kind of interpret it. Every section of the song kind of feels like a different element, a different location, a different mood, a different vibe. You know, there's some rain, there's some wind. You kind of feel warm in some sections of the song, you feel kind of cool in some sections. And I hope it kind of gives that vibe off. So, yeah, maybe one of the more chill songs on the album, and maybe one of the more difficult ones to play live because of just how it is orchestrally. Speaking of orchestrally, Mark played orchestral bass drum on that song.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That was fun.
With a mallet.
Quite enjoyed that.
Yeah, and some really cool different approaches to his drumming there by using the mallets in a specific way. And we actually did something kind of cool with Nordic Summer where Mark was playing the whole kits and Dino was just kind of playing the ride cymbal with the mallet to kind of like make it sound even better.
No, that's right.
Yeah.
Oh, and speaking of weird instruments, I had to play a
Oh, yeah.
not great quality penny whistle I got from the Reagan Library years ago because the flute couldn't go up to that octave.
Yeah. And I
That
didn't
was
want to hire a
hard.
piccolo player. Track number 8 is The Bee's Knees, which musically is very, very different from anything I've ever done, ever. It's a swing number inspired by the likes of Glenn Miller and Duke Ellington and general acts from the 30s and the 40s. Ah, dang it. Lyrically, Emily and I took care of The Bee's Knees, and I remember wanting to have a song about golden age thinking, how people might think too well of the past sometimes just because it may look and sound kind of cool, but it's probably kind of a horrible place to be in comparison to where you are now. It's obviously okay to fawn for the past and wish you were in a time that you weren't around for. But if you just look a little deeper into it, it's probably not so pleasant. So Emily and I just kind of thought about that, and that's what The Bee's Knees is about.
The smell of the past.
Yeah, the smell, the doctors. Imagine taking like medicine from like the 20s, or like going to a dentist.
That was just one of the most fun songs that I got to record on the drums for this record.
Yeah.
I had just been practicing and trying to get a gig playing on a cruise ship, and I feel like since COVID shut down the cruise industry and I couldn't get one of those jobs, all that work was not in vain, because just for that song.
And Mark gets an excellent drum solo, and it's just...
Oh, that is the song with that crazy drum
Yeah,
solo.
yeah.
I'm excited to hear that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's dynamic and it has a lot of personality.
It's a good refreshing change of pace for the record.
Yeah.
Listen to me, I can guarantee.
Track 9 is Wrong Turn, which, yeah, I could already hear Mark
Enjoy this song.
having incredible memories of playing this song. Yeah, Wrong Turn is the heaviest song on the album by a long shot. It's inspired by lots of thrashy bands, bands like Metallica, and I don't know. I don't even really listen to Meshuggah, but it's inspired by Meshuggah. Yeah, Wrong Turn is about the assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand, the event that started World War I. This is another song that was inspired by a topic brought to me by Sean LaBelle, our dear friend over there
Yeah.
on the left.
If you don't know the story of that one, his driver took him past the assassins who didn't have their guns ready in time, and then turned the wrong way, came back, passed them again, and gave them a second shot, and that's how he got shot and World War I started.
And this one features an incredible vocal duo by our other bandmate Skunk, who couldn't be here because he unfortunately tested positive for COVID. But his vocals are an incredible, thrashy, loud, yelly approach, which is a great contrast to Emily's smooth, melodic, jazzy voice. And that's the exact thing I wanted to have. I wanted to have that very polarizing vocal duo.
I remember coming to the studio, I hadn't heard the chorus yet. And Michael's like, all right, we're going to come and put harmonies and all that business on this song. And I heard the chorus, I literally like took my headphones off and was just like, whew.
Yeah.
Like, what an experience that, like, first time hearing it, because it's just,
Oh yeah,
this is another one where it
there's a
doubles
couple
down.
moments in there with those harmonies where it's the coolest sounding thing I've ever fucking heard.
Track number 10 is Sunrise. If most of the record takes place at night, with songs like Shadows in the Moonlight, Rainbows at Night, Faceless Dreams, Sunrise is the point in which the sun starts to rise. Who'd have thought? Sunrise is another just really unusual song, unlike anything I've really done before. Co-written with Dino. It's kind of inspired by indie artists, electronic music, and kind of like ambient, like chill wave kind of sleeping stuff. It has one of the most incredible interpretations by Emily. Again, some nice harmonies by the guys. Just a chill sleeper track, kind of romantic song about a sunrise.
This is the one where you had the room mic.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we took the mics from the drum set and moved them a little further from where they were originally placed for most of the album to get a really roomy sound. And then to enhance that, I mean, we usually record in a big church hall, so we put a microphone right in the middle of the church hall just to kind of get even more room sounds.
Well, this is the song that helped us decide on the band name Cosmic Ocean, because there's a lyric in it that's oceans of fire radiating a million miles away.
Kingdom of Fear, lyrically, is inspired by a particular time in my life and some people who are pretty close to me. And it's about those people specifically, treating them as almost like characters in a fantasy film and talking about them like they're legends who did these extraordinary things. So it's kind of a song about really close friends of mine, some specific references to things we've been through. Aaron has a really lovely guitar solo. I think it's the last guitar solo on the album.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, the very first guitar intro in the song, Dino and I wrote in a car at the hospital. I forgot why we were at the hospital, and we had a guitar in the car, and Dino, you found those first few notes in Kingdom of Fear, and you're like, this would be a cool intro. And when I heard that, I was like, oh, that's like, that's really good.
A lot of references to other songs in the album musically too.
Oh yeah, that's another kind of cheeky thing we did is because it's the closer of the album, I wanted to kind of treat that instrumental section, which almost ends the song, as like the credits to a film. And normally, if you go see a film, the credits will reprise all the themes throughout the film. So we make references to most of the songs.